We did not fight for this country to be liberated or to be in a democratic dispensation for you people to come to do as it please. Yeah. Our freedom that we fought for, it must be respected. And the worst part that we have actually observed, you even undermine our law enforcement. Yes. You've got no respect of our police. And these police are meant for the reason. That uniform is meant to protect the citizens of this country and other citizens who are coming illegally in our country. Yes. But those who are illegal in our country, they've turned our country into something else. Yeah. Those people, they must go and fight in Nigeria. They must go and do Nigeria better as they claim that it's a better country. Yeah. They're all flocking in this country. They pass all this country. They turn us into a dustbin where they can dump all their nonsense in our country. They claim to be economic migrant. But for them to be in our country with drugs, is that economic migrant? Yes. Putting our children into prostitution. Yes. Drug trafficking, it's all over. It's because of Nigerians. Yes. That is the only thing that they trade in our country. You go in town, you go all over. You see them in the street, pretending as if they're selling this fake clothes. Underneath there's drugs.
The South African government is facing mounting pressure to investigate the immigration status of Solomon Ogbon Eziko, a Nigerian national whose recent coronation as the traditional leader of the Igbo community in the Eastern Cape has ignited widespread controversy. The call comes alongside renewed scrutiny over the citizenship status of former Miss South Africa contestant Chidimma Dicina and her mother, Annabella Rungo, with civic group Progressive Forces of South Africa demanding clarity and accountability from state authorities. The organization has launched a national petition on change, urging both the executive and legislative arms of government to intervene decisively on issues relating to immigration compliance, public safety, and the management of international relations, particularly those involving Nigerian nationals residing in South Africa. At the center of the dispute is Eziko's alleged coronation in Gugompo City, which the movement argues raises serious legal and governance concerns. According to the group, the matter touches on potential non-compliance with the Immigration Act 13 of 2002, which regulates the entry and residence of foreign nationals, as well as the Traditional and Khoisan Leadership Act 3 of 2019, which governs the recognition and legitimacy of traditional leadership structures in the country. The ceremony has sparked intense backlash, with critics describing it as a direct challenge to South Africa's sovereignty and constitutional order. Political parties and traditional leaders have voiced concern that the event effectively created a parallel leadership structure on South African soil, something they argue is both unlawful and social destabilizing. In addition to Eziko's case, the organization is demanding that the Department of Home Affairs disclose the current whereabouts and legal status of Adicina, as well as provide updates on the ongoing legal proceedings involving her mother. The Department of Home Affairs hasn't responded to these queries. Adicina first came under public scrutiny during her participation as a finalist in the 2024 Miss South Africa pageant. Questions surrounding her nationality led to an investigation by the Department of Home Affairs, which reportedly uncovered prima facie evidence suggesting that her mother may have committed identity theft in 2001 to obtain South African citizenship. According to the department's findings, the alleged identity theft involved the use of another South African woman's identity, effectively preventing that individual from registering her own child. Runga was subsequently arrested in Cape Town in February 2025 after her documentation was revoked, rendering her presence in the country unlawful. She now faces multiple charges related to identity fraud and immigration violations. The National Prosecuting Authority regional spokesperson Eric Tabazalila confirmed that Rungo recently appeared in the Cape Town Magistrates Court, where her case was postponed to April 17, 2026. The postponement is intended to allow the state to provide the defense with copies of the docket. She was granted bail of 10,000 rand. In its position, Progressive Forces of South Africa emphasized that its demands are rooted in constitutional principles, including the rule of law, equality before the law, and the protection of national sovereignty. The group cited provisions in the Constitution that safeguard human dignity, freedom, and security, arguing that these principles obligate the state to act decisively and fairly in addressing issues that may threaten social cohesion and national stability. The movement has further called for the enforcement of Sections 32 and 34 of the Immigration Act, which provide for detention and deportation where individuals are found to be in the country unlawfully. Beyond individual cases, the organization is advocating for a broader, legally complained national audit to assess the status and activities of Nigerian nationals in South Africa. It argues that such an audit should be conducted within the framework of existing legislation, including the Immigration Act, the Refugees Act 130 of 1998, the Citizenship Act 88 of 1995, and the Employment Services Act 4 of 2014. The petition also extends to diplomatic relations, with a request for the Department of International Relations and Cooperation (DECO) to review the operational effectiveness of the Nigerian Embassy in South Africa. The organization contends that this review should be guided by the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations 1961, which outlines the responsibilities and conduct expected of diplomatic missions. While acknowledging that international law may limit certain actions, the group expressed a strong view that should the embassy be found lacking in cooperation on issues such as transnational crime or community tensions, appropriate diplomatic measures should be considered. Some within the movement have been suggested the permanent closure of the embassy, an extreme proposal likely to raise significant diplomatic concerns. Responding to these developments, DECO spokesperson Crispin Pires stated that the department engages with all embassies on matters of national interest as they arise, while also pursuing areas of mutual cooperation. And said equally, the department pursues areas of cooperation and coordinates such with all embassies resident in the Republic as and when such matters arise. Despite the growing tensions, the civic movement insists that its petition is not motivated by xenophobia or exclusion, but rather by a call for lawful, transparent, and accountable governance, and stated that South Africa is a constitutional democracy founded on human dignity, equality, and freedom, stressing that its demands seek to uphold, not undermining these principles. Meanwhile, the Nigerian mission in South Africa has moved to ease tensions. Nigerian Deputy Acting High Commissioner Olajide Ogunmadiji issued a sincere apology to South African traditional institutions and the people of Eastern Cape, expressing regret over any offense caused by the coronation. The embassy reaffirmed its respect for South Africa's laws, customs, and traditional leadership systems, making it clear that it does not support any actions that could undermine local authorities or governance structures. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.